Hi, this is Steve. Welcome to our iFLOW video series. In this segment, I want to look at the importance of installing the iFLOW outdoor temperature sensor. It comes with every unit and should be installed with every unit. This is what the sensor looks like. That's a picture of it. It comes in this bag. Again, you'll find that in the manual bag of all the installations. Just take it out. So when you unwind it, it's about 12 inches long. Obviously that's not long enough to go outside, so you just extend it and moret it. It comes with two morets in the bag, so you can connect it with any 18-2 wire and run it as far as you need from the outside wall back to the unit. Preferably the outdoor sensor should go on the north wall, or definitely outside of or out of the direct sunlight. If it's in direct sunlight, obviously it's going to heat up and give you a sensor or a temperature that's higher than the actual outdoor temperature. So we want to have it in a shady area for sure. So again, it comes with every unit. It should be installed on every job. Its function is basically to relay the outdoor temperature back to the unit so that we can adjust the BTU delivery into the house. So as it gets colder outside, we'll deliver more and more temperature. As it gets milder outside, as we go from winter into spring, for example, it will reduce the amount of heat we deliver into the house. And it's all done automatically, so the homeowner has nothing, they don't have to adjust anything. They automatically get great comfort delivery into the house. So, in terms of connection to the board, again, depending on the board that you have, it's going to be different. But you will connect it somewhere on the PCB, usually around the thermostat input. It'll be marked OD. So look for the etching on the board that says OD, and then you will find it. In terms of what it does, let's look at how we create a heating curve. So the default on the software is heating off at 70 degrees. So if the outdoor temperature is 70 degrees and above and you call for heat, we're going to run at minimum. We expect you don't need much heating when it's that warm. So again, 70 degrees is kind of our heating off. On the other end of the curve, we look at the design temperature where you are. So for example, we're looking at this 95,000 BTU unit. So this is our 18,000 series unit. It can deliver 95,000 BTUs worth of heating. And when does that happen? Well, if the outdoor temperature hits minus 15 Celsius or 5 Fahrenheit, then that's when we deliver 95,000 BTUs. At any temperature colder than that, we will continue to operate at maximum. So we kind of come up and then run at maximum. So once we design that, or once we have those 2 points, we create a slope. So on this slope is where the unit will target the BTU delivery. So for example, if it's 60 degrees outside, we're going to target and deliver over 12,500 BTUs. If it's 50, we're going to deliver 27,500. If it's 40, we're going to deliver 42,500, etc., etc., etc. So as it gets colder outside, we deliver consecutively more BTUs on the heating side, all the way up. 10, and once we hit our maximum, let's say our 5, which is our outdoor design temperature for Ontario, let's say, then we will run at the 95,000 BTUs, and at any temperature colder than that, we'll also run at that 95,000 BTU level. So now we can go into the parameters on the iFLOW controller, and we can adjust the parameters. We can adjust the outdoor design temperature. So if we're in a warmer climate, we can tell it, hey, I'm not in a cold climate. I'm in Vancouver, or I'm in Seattle, or I'm in Northern California, or I'm in Colorado, or I'm in wherever it might be. In some areas you need colder, in some areas you need warmer. So we have the ability to adjust that outdoor design temperature. It's default at 5 Fahrenheit, so minus 15 Celsius, but you can operate anywhere from 0 to 32 or 0 Celsius to minus 18 Celsius on that range. Then in parameter 14, we enter the heat load of the building. So even though the iFLOW that we were looking at can do 95,000 BTUs, maybe we're installing it into a home that only has 15,000 BTUs. So what happens in that case? Well, we go into the controller and we adjust the 90,000 BTU load down to 50,000 or 40,000 or 35,000. Whatever the heat load of that home is, we enter it in parameter 14. So what that'll do is automatically adjust the slope of the curve. So again, let's assume that we're entering 50,000 BTUs as the heat load of the house, even though it can do 99. What that does is it drops the curve. So now at 50,000 BTUs, that's our outdoor design temperature. So at that 5 or minus 5 Fahrenheit, minus 15 Celsius, we have the outdoor design temperature or the heat load at 50. So we know that when the temperature gets to here, we need to deliver not 95,000 BTUs, but we need to deliver 50,000 BTUs. So if we go back, so that automatically creates a different slope, and then as we go down the temperature curve, we see that we deliver lower amounts of heat. So for example, if it's 60,000, instead of delivering 12,500, which we did initially, now we're delivering just over 5,000. So maybe 6,000, it'll be half of, a little bit more than half of what we have up here. And the same for 50. At 50,000, we're instead of delivering 27,500, we're delivering 14,000 or 15,000. So for each temperature, we're delivering less and less BTUs because we don't need as many. We're only, instead of 95, we're only at 50,000 BTU load on the house. So it makes sense that we deliver a correspondingly lower amount of BTUs because of the smaller heat load of the house. So this is what the outdoor sensor does. So again, by adjusting parameter 14, we adjust the slope of the curve. So again, you had 95,000, and then again at 30, that would give you this temperature. But now we're down to 50,000, so it gives you, right, a lower number. So 28,000, 29,000 instead of the 57,500. So now, if we, as I mentioned, we can adjust the outdoor design temperature. So if we adjust parameter number 12 to, let's say, if we're in Vancouver instead of Toronto, the actual outdoor design temperature is much warmer. So it might be 20 degrees, so it's minus 7 Celsius and not 5 Fahrenheit or minus 15. So we would then adjust it this way so that at a different temperature, right? Initially at 30 we were delivering 57,500, but because we've set the outdoor design temperature as a milder place, we're delivering less BTUs as you would expect. So that's the outdoor sensor. That's what it does. It allows the iFLOW to look at the outdoor temperature and automatically adjust the BTUs that we're delivering into the house without the homeowner doing anything to the thermostat. It's just automatically comfortable because we're adjusting and corresponding accordingly to the outdoor temperature. Now another special feature, if we are connecting to a Navien tankless water heater or combi boiler, we have the ability to communicate between the iFLOW and the Navien. So the outdoor temperature that's connected to the iFLOW will then tell the Navien what temperature to run at. And you can imagine, as we need more BTUs into the space, so as it gets colder outside, we'll tell the Navien to give us hotter and hotter temperatures. So let's look at what that does. So again, we'll go back to our design, and now all we'll do is put the Navien water temperature on this chart. So let's say 120 going up to 180. We see that at every temperature level, we could actually increase the supply water temperature of the Navien. So for example, right, if it's if it's 50 degrees out, not that cold, we would come up, and if we're come up to the line, if we have 50,000 BTU, we would be delivering, let's say, over 12,500 BTUs. We would be running at 125 degrees. We wouldn't need to run at 180 or 160 or even 140. We can run much lower. The lower the supply water temperature, the lower the return water temperature is going to be. So we're going to get full condensing out of the Navien without problem. So the outdoor temperature is a very important part, and it allows us to customize the BTU delivery for each and every application. Doesn't matter where you are in North America, whether you're in a milder area, whether you're in a cold area, you can adjust the outdoor design temperature to your region's design temperature. And then you can adjust, in parameter 14, you can adjust the heat load. So if you're installing the iFLOW in a small townhouse that has a heat load of 18,000 BTUs, you can set it for 18,000. If you're in a single family home that has a heat load of 42,000, you can set it for 42,000. So you can actually customize each and every unit to your specific application. And it's the outdoor sensor that will allow us to do that, because it gives us the temperature, it creates the slope, we then tell it, or based on that slope, we deliver the BTUs into the house. If it's not connected, then unfortunately it's going to it won't have a target to be able to reach out to. So you can adjust the parameters all you want, but it doesn't know what it is outside, so it doesn't have a reference point. So it's always going to be operating at what you've set it to. So for example, if you set parameter 14 to 50,000, well, it knows it has to deliver 50,000, but it doesn't know where on that slope you are at any point in time, so it'll run at 50,000 BTUs. It's going to modulate based on the return air temperature, but it's not going to give you the ideal slope and ideal customization that you could get. So contractors often ask me, hey, do I really need to run that? Yeah, you really do. It really is important, an important part of the modulation on the heating side, because it gives the iFLOW the information it needs to be able to properly modulate. In terms of running it outside, again, on the north wall is ideal, but anywhere is better than not having it. So make sure you get it out. Try to get it out on the northern wall. If you don't have a spot, or if it's difficult, remember you can always use the chase of the appliance. So if you have an appliance, a direct vent appliance where you've got an intake pipe, you can use the intake pipe as a chase for the wire. So just fish it back through through the intake. Do not do it on the exhaust. Of course, we don't want to put any hole penetration through the exhaust pipe. It's only through the intake where it's bringing air in. That running the wire through there is not going to restrict any airflow at all. So fish the wire back from the outside down through the intake pipe, and then bring it out through the in pipe. Just run a little pilot hole, draw it through, connect it to the iFLOW. So that's another way you can get it out without having to run a new hole through the exterior. Another question I often get is, okay, I'm running with a combi boiler. I've got the outdoor reset to the combi boiler. Do I really need it set to the iFLOW? And the answer is yes, because both will be doing the same thing. Both need to be doing the same thing. So with a Navien, the outdoor sensor is connected to the iFLOW. The iFLOW, based on the slope we set, will then tell the Navien what temperature to run at, which is great. If we're not with a Navien, if we're with a combi boiler, let's say an NTI boiler, a Viessmann boiler, an IBC boiler, a triangle tube boiler, or Lochinvar, whatever boiler you're using, you want to have the outdoor sensor connected to that boiler or combi boiler so that it will also modulate and have the outdoor reset set up on the boiler. But then you also want to tell the iFLOW or hook the outdoor reset to the iFLOW as well, so that both the iFLOW will be looking at the outdoor temperature and adjusting its delivery based on the outdoor temperature, but then the boiler will also have its own outdoor temperature sensor connected, so it's going to be doing the same thing. So as it gets colder, both will ramp up. As it gets milder, both will ramp down. So even if you have it on the boiler, you also need it on the iFLOW. You need it on both appliances to be able to get that performance that we need on the iFLOW. So again, thank you for your time. That is the outdoor temperature sensor. Give us a call if you have any questions on that. Again, my contact information is on the card here. Feel free to reach out if you do have any questions. Thanks for your time.